modernity as a discrepancy between experiences and expectations. I like this concept very much because what we can see on the internet is that every project, such as Wikipedia, is sort of driven by very high expectations. And what we then see is a life cycle that starts with high expectations and often ends with lots of frustration, meaning we make experience of conflicts, of power concentration, of rigid rules, etc. And that is an experience that we can sort of trace back to other projects as well, but usually we don't. So the idea would be to benefit more from experiences that we have when we think about our own expectations. That's certainly one thing. But what is equally intriguing about Santos is the way he sort of conceptualized the idea of discrepancy between experience and expectation. He says there is always a movement of regulation that tries to keep our expectations stable, and there is a movement of emancipation that tries to expand the distance between experience and expectation. And these two things we need to balance. What we do in areas like Wikipedia usually is to sort of expand the space between experience and expectation to a degree where we really lose out on what we've known and what we've seen. So when it comes to the regulation of knowledge, this becomes extremely complicated, because where can we experience from the past without losing our emancipatory aspirations? I think over the last years, when we look at these editing wars that we see in the community of people who contribute to Wikipedia, we see a clear tendency towards regulation. If we buy into Santos' idea that there is emancipatory knowledge and regulatory knowledge, then we see that the weight of regulatory knowledge is clearly increasing. We see all these rules that determine how an article has to be written, what qualifies as knowledge that can go into Wikipedia, and that loses out, I think. It begins to dominate over the emancipatory drive that sort of created the whole project. Hopefully it is both. Hopefully it helps us to understand Wikipedia a bit better and integrate it into academic research. In that respect, this conference is also an ordering practice, sort of a regulatory knowledge. But at the same time, we try to better understand what is going on with Wikipedia and perhaps benefit more from the conflicts, the editing conflicts, than we've had so far, because so far they are rather destructive. In this respect, it's an emancipatory project, this conference.